Welcome back, nerds and turds, to another live stream repair. Let's see, how many in total do we have? Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 that we're backed up on. Oh boy. We'll probably be able to knock out at least 2 today. I'd like to also take a look at something that a member in our Discord server has been playing around with. Omanid. Not sure how you pronounce that, but anyways. You should join our Discord server if you're remotely interested in anything about technology or self-repair or HomePods or anything of the likes. Discord.gg/track44. Track the word, 44 the numbers. But anyways, we've seen now a couple of these HomePods that as they warm up, the base slowly dies and gets less and less over time. And they had found that this component tends to make it react more or less with the base response when it heats up or cools, when it gets heated up or cooled back down. So we're gonna have to play with that on this one as well, and see if we can repro that. If we can, that's great news, because I've got a couple of these boards now that behave the same that we haven't found the fix for yet. So we'll be sure to add that info to the website if it's reproducible, and credit them for finding it. If you find your own repair for an issue that's not listed on the website, then feel free to hit us up and we'll throw it up there and give you credit for it, of course. So let's let the Discord nerds know that we're streaming now, and we'll grab our first pod, see what we're dealing with. Oh, that's right. We ended this stream yesterday with Scott's first HomePod. He sent in 2 that both had no power. Here's the second one. So we'll go ahead and let Scott know that we're getting the second one done now. Good stuff. Oh, where's our progress? Do I need to do the whole refresh, okay, refresh. And then again, refresh, okay. There we go. The camera's doing the hokey pokey. Doesn't seem like it's able to focus on the box. Good times. Okay. First things first, let's check our symptoms with a... Is this thing going to be able to focus? There we go. Well, we're going to check our symptoms with a known good power cable connected to our kilowatt meter at the bottom left of the screen there. Give us an idea, first of all, if we've actually got no power. Second of all, how much power it's pulling from the wall, which will give us an idea or a guess as to what's going on. So, same exact thing as Scott's other HomePod. It's not showing any signs of life, and it's showing about 3 watts of power draw from the wall. So it appears to be another case of a dead diode on the amplifier, like most. Well, let's get it taken apart and find out. These suckers are in there. Excuse me. Wow. Unnecessary. Eat apple. That was really in there. Never had that much trouble with one of those screws before. We've got plenty to replace it with, so that's no problem. Uh-oh. Alright. I'm not having fun. Let's go. You know what? Screw all of those. We're going to replace them all. Subwoofer looks great. That's what we live for. Wow, really? Every single screw in this thing is going to be this way, huh? It's weird that the other one wasn't like this, so I'm going to take a good guess that this has nothing to do with how they were used. Alright, here's where we can get into trouble. Oh, really? Out of all of the screws in this thing you're going to give me troubles with, you're going to make the ones for the power supply the easiest? That's a first. We are in and ready for the next step, which is identifying our diode here, which has a date code of 1748K, which we commonly see failing. Then we're going to check, and yep, that diode is confirmed dead. So we're going to turn on our heat and get that replaced with a new diode. Part number PDS560-13. 60 volt 5 amp Schottky barrier diode. Date codes 1746K to 1748K. High failure rate. Date codes outside of that range. No known failures yet. Almost 1,000 HomePods that I have seen and confirmed with my own eyeballs that this pattern continues. I would say 2/3 of those were no power issues, and I would say 9 out of 10 of those 2/3 with no power issues were that diode, at least. That other third that were not power issues, well, most of them had diodes with wildly different day codes. Some of them had 1746 or 1748K, and they were still working, but that was not common. What is true still is only those 2 date codes keep failing. Well, it doesn't matter what we get a HomePod in for, we replace this diode if it's got the original one in it every time, no matter what, just in case our assumption here is wrong. And, well, the saying, correlation isn't necessarily causation. That's it. We'll give this a second to cool down, and then we will give it a test and see if it's all good to go. Ooh, what's it got? It's got power. I hear beautiful, beautiful bass. And an awful offset. Boo! 200 millivolts. And yeah, that popping is. This is gonna need new filters, because if we just ignore the fact that there's 200 millivolts of offset or of DC voltage and growing of DC voltage going straight into the subwoofer because of those filters going bad. That subwoofer is going to roast itself. It's going to start farting within a matter of months. if not weeks. And we'll be seeing this thing back here on our dime. So we're just going to nip that all in the bud here and now. Give it some new filters. Scott's other HomePod from the end of yesterday's repair stream did not need new filters. It was looking pretty snazzy. But this one not so lucky. And here I was thinking we were doing good on time. That's okay. This is only an extra few minutes. Assuming we don't goop anything up, yeah? Don't jinx yourself. Don't jinx yourself. Good, good. Some fresh solder for those pads. A little more flux, make sure everything flows nice and easy when we put our new caps on here. Here we go. See, I jinxed myself. That's okay, easy peasy. How's that looking? Ooh, looking good. Looking good. Okay, we need to give that a chance to cool off again. Especially when we're looking at our DC voltage being put out of the amp into the subwoofer. Those filter caps that we just replaced, one characteristic of them is the warmer they are, the less effective they get at filtering DC voltage. Wow, great. Great component to use for filtering DC voltage. But on the flip side, there are quite a few pros to using these parts. For one, they're solid state. You don't have to worry about that. Number two, they have fewer side effects to being used for filtering when we're talking about an audio signal. And you can choose which ones you have based on what kind of, because I think different ones with different capacitances will filter certain amounts or certain frequencies too at certain levels. It gets kind of complicated. I don't fully understand it myself yet. Take 2. Still got power, that's nice. Beautiful. Excellent. That's the kind of offset we like to see. Anything less than 50 millivolts is a passing score with a grade A. Anything more than 200 millivolts is a failing grade F score. And anything above that, of course, or at that needs to be replaced, of course. But we replace them when we see anything more than 50. Here we've only got 2 millivolts now. That's excellent. So, no significant popping either. Good to see that's gone. So, we are finally ready to put this back together. No, come back. Oh yeah, it's the weather's finally nice out, so I've got the let me plug the camera or the mouse in up there so I can control that dang thing. There we go. I got the Z out. is time. Up next is Mark. We'll take a look at what's wrong with theirs in just a minute here.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Very good.
I'm having trouble.
Excellent. Scott checks out. Both of his pods are fixed and ready to go, both with no power no longer. One even with some bad filters on the way out the door. But we caught that early enough before any other damage occurred. So let's get Mark's up here, find out what we're dealing with. Ah, nice. Yes. Another one with no power. Let's let Mark know that it's here and we're getting started on theirs now. And last, let's get their name up on the screen. Symptoms check. Make sure we've actually got no power here. Yep. And our power draw here looks to be at about 4 to 6 watts. The usual dead diode, it appears. Let's get it apart and find out. Those seem to just get more and more difficult as time goes on, huh? Got a good looking woofer there. Boop. You know the drill. 1746K this time around. It's dead. Well, open the notification, yeah. Or don't. Cool. Yeah. Sometimes I don't get it. Am I getting old? Shit, I have a kid. I am getting old. I got a kid. I got 3 jobs. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. All he needs now is a house. Working on that. Hello, alternate reality. Welcome to the stream. Nice little quiet evening we've got indeed. I'll take it where we can get it. Oh, it's my pleasure. It brings me as much joy getting it working again as it does you getting a working HomePod back. Give me good stuff, no offset. Yes, power. Please no offset, please no offset, please no offset. Yes. Beautiful bass. Beautiful offset. Here we go. We're ready to put this back together. Well, I know it's not always good to compare yourself to others, but I do have a good friend who managed to buy their own house when they were, gosh, that was like, I think 5 or 6 years ago, around abouts by now. So he would have been like 21 to 23 years old when he bought that place. He's done quite a lot to it. It wasn't a stellar condition house, but it wasn't a complete dump. Perfectly livable for him and a few other people until he eventually found a way to take care of a few problems, and people also moved out, and now he's got it all to himself. But he's quite the exception to a lot of rules. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have ever had the idea of running my own business, let alone fixing HomePods for other people. Because I met him in high school. We became friends, and he was already running his own like computer repair business like around town. Mobile IT. Pretty crazy. And I think he's been running that ever since. Still. Man, we were those people that got into Bitcoin. We had a bunch of Radeon HD 5770 graphics cards, and we were mining on those things right when Bitcoin mining came out. We had stocked up a fair bit. I lost my hard drive. I had like 5 or 10. I don't remember how much he ended up with. At least as much, if not more, because he had more cards than I did. I only had like 1 or 2. But like the Radeon HD 5770 was like the card to have to mine on back then, because it had the best performance to power ratio when it came to mining Bitcoin. This was way before, of course, any of the ASIC or dedicated hardware miners came out that absolutely stomped any graphics card in mining performance. So any Joe with graphics card could get away with making a fair bit. SETI search. I have not heard of that before. I'll have to look that up if you can't give it any justice with a brief description there in the chat for me. Sophie, welcome. Can't sleep. Oh man. You should probably stop watching so much of the 24/7 D-Brick live stream then. That might help. I'm kidding. There was a screensaver that analyzed the data for SETI. Oh. Kinda, I'm guessing kinda like folding at home, but for different research. Distorted tweeter. Interesting. I have not heard or seen of that ever before myself, unless it was from a goofed up repair attempt or physical drop damage. But just all by itself, I have not heard of any tweeter or tweeter amplifier failures. Which, now that you mention it, makes me think that's kind of impressive, because there's 7 tweeters and 7 tweeter amplifiers in each HomePod, and we continue to only see issues with the bass stuff, which has its own dedicated bass amplifier. So let's see if we've got this fixed. I wonder if it's also something's loose inside and it's rattling, making it sound like a tweeter's distorted when it really isn't. There's something, rattling around. I've seen that.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Yes.
I'm having trouble.
Yes. All right, folks. That's all that we've got today. Or at least all that we've got time for today. If you have any questions about any of the repairs that we've done, doing your own repairs, or reaching out to send it in to be fixed here on the channel, check out my website, nixfix.com. I've got a dedicated section for common issues and mail-in address, frequently asked questions, pretty much everything you can think of. And if we haven't thought about it, hit us up on my email or our Discord server. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's.